What up, sunshine? First things first, you may notice I got a haircut. These last few days, I haven't really left the apartment or showered or anything. Probably because I still need to find a job. So I was feeling kind of gross. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to get a haircut, shave my face, shave my arms, get really back into the swing of it, in the mindset of ready to get out there and tackle that workforce. Because I am ready to go back to work. Because some people, and I used to think, man, I wish I had just tons of money and I could sit at home. But I get kind of bored. So I'm kind of bored. And I lose motivation to do things. Because I know during this time I could be writing a lot and stuff like that. But I lose interest or motivation to do things. And then I end up just sitting here doing nothing. So hopefully this is going to help. Good. Let's talk about stuff. I have a little list here. We'll talk about my friends. Yeah, Schofield and Dana. They left, I don't know, however many days ago. It was fun. We didn't really do much because, again, don't really have money. And I kind of felt bad, but they were like, well, we didn't come to hang out in Florida. We wanted to come see you. So I was like, all right. So we played board games a lot. We only played Last Night on Earth twice, or maybe 3 times. It's different scenarios. I mean, they liked it, but they weren't very good at it. So I wasn't really a big fan of pushing for that. It wasn't that fun playing with them. But we kind of played some more classic board games, like Life and Yahtzee and other stuff like that. Got the cool J.J. Abrams flair going on again. Yeah. So it was kind of fun digging back into some of the old games. So that was nice. There's a possibility that Dana might be taking Ellen's place in moving here. Her job isn't going so well. In fact, she thinks it's maybe possibly run by scam artists. So that's not really a good thing. And if that kind of falls through, she doesn't really have anything. And she really wants to film and write and stuff like that. So, and now that we actually kind of have our ball rolling toward this filming thing, she's really given some thought to moving down here, which would be cool because obviously the stipulation is you're going to be around when I have a baby. So if you're not working or we're not filming, then you get to help out. And she said okay. So free babysitter because we offer her really cheap rent. And in replace of rent, money, she does stuff to help us out around the house and stuff like that. So could be pretty cool. Game night. I have not seen The League yet. I keep meaning to watch it, and I keep 100% forgetting that it exists until you mention it, and then I think, oh, right, I forget about that. So, yeah, so I'm still thinking about game night. I still don't really know how I feel about it. Maybe I really should just watch The League, because as of right now, I don't really have an idea kind of where I want to go with it. It's one of those, the idea doesn't even sound like I want to write it. So if I don't even want to write it, then it's going to make for a really crappy thing. I don't know, I just feel like maybe there's other better things we can do right now. Or if there's other ideas we have, incorporating, just Settlers of Catan in it or something like that, since, we have permission to use it. Maybe instead of trying to do something around Mayfair Games, we just see if they can kind of fit into something like what we're doing, which is what the original idea he was talking about. Like if we ever did in Season 2, if we wanted to do a Catan episode, we can do that. So, stuff to think about. I do have a pretty big writing project coming up. It's pretty exciting. There's this, I'll show it to you. Okay, I was going to show this to you anyway. I was just trying to figure out the best, plan or whatever. It's a kid's book called Monster Museum. There's this guy that Brandon knows a guy who knows a guy. So Brandon knows this guy named Brandon knows this guy named Matthew. Matt knows this guy named David. David is in love with this book, reads it to his kids. It's like his favorite book and stuff like that. So he wrote to the author and got permission to make this into a movie. It's basically about this group of kids that go to a monster museum, and every page has, you know, different stuff. So he wanted to write and direct it, but then started thinking, that's a little too much. So he found this guy named Matt to direct it. Matt then was going to write and direct it, and then started thinking, because he wrote a draft and it was going really fast, and he was just like, man, this doesn't really feel like a movie. I don't really know what to do. So he asked Brandon if he wanted to write it, and Brandon said, writing's not really my thing, but I know this guy Jeremy. He showed him Candy, the short film I wrote. Matt loved it, and then so they brought me on as a possible writer and as a possible like co-writer. And then we had a meeting last Thursday. And in that meeting, we all kind of discussed like some ideas on how to make this, because I mean, obviously, it's not a story; it's just a book of poems, and we're trying to figure out how to make a story out of it. And I offered, like, dude, I was on my A game. I was asking all the right questions, but at the same time offering lots of suggestions and scenarios and character development and plot points and moving the story along and asking questions that no one had really thought of up to this point. And so by the end of the meeting, the director said, you know, originally I was just going to kind of write it with you, which I wouldn't have really been a big fan of. I don't really like having someone over my shoulders. I'd rather have the freedom to write and then, you know, discuss it and stuff. So, but after that, I guess I proved myself, and they're fully confident in me writing it. So I've been thinking about it for the last few days, and tomorrow is my writing day. I'm going to start tomorrow. Like I said, he wrote a little bit of it. I'm cutting most of it. Well, I shouldn't say cutting. I'm redoing a lot of it, renaming some characters, fixing some kind of plot points and stuff like that, and then moving forward. So it's pretty cool. There's 9 kids. They meet 9 different monsters, and, you know, stuff happens. I don't want to give it away, but yeah. So and it's gonna be a movie. So, like, you know, shooting for like an hour and a half, hour and 20-minute movie. As far as I don't know what bigger part I'm gonna have in it, but for now, I'm the writer. And then they want to release it not this Halloween, but by next Halloween. So he's got a bunch of people on his team. David has a bunch of people on his team. He doesn't really have money for it yet, but he has a really good, solid plan on how he's going to get money. So, you know, I mean, I might never see the light of day, but it might. So it'll be pretty cool. So I'm really excited about that. So that's my big kind of writing thing. Kelsey and I are working on our book. We just started kind of brainstorming today. It's called FTHS, or Fairy Tale High School. Basically, takes place in like high school or fairy tale land, and it's like the high school of fairy tale land. So all the fairy tale characters go to high school there. And then they have like football games with like Sci-Fi High and Steampunk Academy. Those are the only 2 we have so far, but I'm excited about those 2. And, you know, we're telling the story of Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast, and, wait for it, Cinderella. These 3 girls are potential, like, princesses who could be the one to take over, and then there's this evil person who's trying to stop them. Seems pretty fun and exciting, because fairy tales, I think, is kind of the next big thing, so we're trying to kind of get on that. I got some more ideas of Exodus. I'd really like to revisit that. You know, I mean, I went to a writing conference because that's how much I liked that story, and then I haven't done anything to it since. So I'm really hoping that with Monster Museum and my haircut and stuff like that, I'm going to get back into the swing of writing, which will be good. I want to still write stuff with you and I, but I think maybe the best thing for us to do, find a time, maybe after this next couple weeks and stuff, because I got stuff to do for the next couple weeks. When you're ready, let's Skype and just start talking and brainstorming stuff and see what we can do. So, hopefully I hear from you before your vacation, but if not, then I'll know you're on vacation, and then we can try to talk after that. Sorry it was so late, so I guess technically it's Tuesday, but, you know, whatever. Bye.